Hi, good morning, everyone, and welcome for the live session today. From now onwards, we would be regular, and also, I'm happy to inform you that we have almost deployed, all the new versions of many screens. In the next few days, maybe there might be some glitches here and there, and that we are in the process of fixing it. But even RRG, we have gone live with the new version. In this new version you will be able to actually see 100 stocks at a time. There is some slight issue in the speed, which is what we are addressing, and probably in couple of days time we should be able to get it up and running. So anyways, without wasting much time, I'll quickly share my screen. You all can please confirm once you all are able to see my screen. Okay, and if you all are able to hear me properly, can someone please confirm if they are able to see my screen and if they are able to hear me properly? Okay, so I think I've got the confirmation from the team. Yeah. Okay. Thanks for the confirmation. So, while we had done that, I think last Wednesday or Thursday, the live session, that time I had mentioned that the Nifty index had taken a resistance at the 61.8% retracement. Okay. So, over here, 61.8% retracement was the resistance zone. Okay. And after that, it was expected that the gap zone will be an important support zone and it should be held. But see, what has happened is that the gap zone got broken on the downside. And while I think I remember now that we were doing the this live session, and at that point of time, on that day particularly, this inverse HNS pattern was broken, and it was trying to see some pullback. Eventually what happened is that the head and shoulders pattern, which was there on the hourly chart, that played out, and after that the Nifty index has seen a correction. But now the question is, what next, right? So see, understand two things over here. Okay, in the short term we are in a downtrend. Okay, so there is no question about that, because even this gap zone is now broken on the downside. Now while I was observing, there are few variations that I am seeing. That is, for example, if you see, so let's take the weekly chart so that you understand the context. Okay, many of the indices have actually touched the 40 week. Okay, usually what we have seen is that when the 20 week breaks on the downside, usually 40 gets tested. Okay, 20 week over here actually did not break decisively, but on the election day 20 week was broken, 40 came into play, 20 broken, 40 came into play, and so on. Okay, so most of the times what we see is that when the 20 week breaks, 40 is touched. Okay, so over here the 40 week right now is at 24,265, so it has still not touched that zone. But at the same time, if we see for many index, okay, like CNX 500. Okay, actually, even CNX 500 has not touched, but if you see something like, say, midcap 100, okay, it has touched the 40 week. If you see small cap, okay, small cap has actually broken the 40 week. Now, what we normally see is that when the 40 week breaks on the downside, even the lower Bollinger Band can, come into play. So, the thing is that because in the short term we are in a downtrend. Okay, so until we don't see a signs of reversal, the least that we would expect is some bounce, but that's about it. And you know let us see an reversal on the daily chart or on the hourly chart. After that we'll take a call. So what has happened right now is that there was this positive divergence which was already visible. In fact, even if you put RSI, okay, if you see over here, there were multiple divergences that were developing, and after that, there was a bullish crossover over here, but in this decline it did not go to sell, and there was a crossover, and there was a divergence. So at some point of time a pullback was due, and the pullback was also due because if you see the sentiment indicators and the daily swing, okay, so this had also touched I think six level, okay, on the downside. So on the next day the Nifty did decline, but the intensity of the decline was tapered down, and that's why we saw some uptick in momentum. And in today's up move we are seeing good amount of uptick. If you see average swing, okay, that had also fallen, and it did not touch this mark. So that's where this doubt may arise that whether it is going to bounce back again, come down, and we might see divergence over here, and maybe average swing will come to the oversold zone. That will be like an ideal situation to think that short term down tick that we are seeing from the top, that is complete. And if not anything, then at least either a major pullback like this or a consolidation can happen, and after that we can decide the course, right? So just to be lot more clear, in the near term there is a pullback that is expected up till 40. Okay, if the 40 hour breaks on the upside, then we would look at a retracement level of the recent decline, okay, which would come to like say 61.8% retracement. So that is like the best case scenario for now. But given that we are seeing no signs of reversal yet, there is a risk that the Nifty index can probably decline. Sorry, brush, yeah. So there is a case that Nifty index can decline towards these levels, or maybe this was like a double bottom breakout that we had seen, right, which was around 23,850 or something like that. This is, yeah, 23,869. So somewhere at that point of time, those levels are possible. I mean, whether it will come or not, that we need to see, but we'll have to navigate it as the things unfold. So in the very near term, say from next 1 to 2 days perspective, there is a pullback that is possible up till the hourly averages, and if at all the hourly averages breaks, then retracement is what we will be looking at. But that's about it. I think beyond retracement it looks little unlikely at this point of time. And in that same process, okay, when the pullback happens, and say for example if the swing ends up becoming to 80 and 90 while this retracement is happening, okay, and say we end up hitting this 61.8% retracement, if at all we end up seeing a good bounce and the swing comes to 80-90, then we have to be a little careful, and we have to think that maybe the short term pullback which is there, that is complete. It's only when 61.8% is broken on the upside and it sustains above that, only then is the chance of saying that a short term, the corrective phase is complete and probably we are heading higher. So as of now that is too soon to say. Now the other question that may arise is that we are speaking from for quite some time now that the medium term indicators, okay, sentiment indicators like FI positioning, it is at this down level since a very very long time, right? Even over here it had entered this extreme short zone, and it was there for some time, and after that we saw a short covering rally, right? So as of now what is happening is that despite this up move, there was barely any shorts that got covered, right? Which means that bears who 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 has earned money in this, okay, despite of this pullback, it did not led to unwinding. So that means they might be confident that the markets could be going down, and that's why basically all the strong hands are still holding out. So we need to first see the short covering playing out, and then we have to see whether the price action wise, whether the important levels are broken or no. So at some point of time, these shorts are going to get covered. Now the problem over here is with the timing, whether it is 1 month, 2 month, or I mean, how long does it take, or is it different, and will it sustain at lower levels for a long period of time? I mean, these are all questions that are unanswered at this point of time, because we are probably seeing, uh, especially after the Trump has got elected, this has been twice that it has breached the lower end and gone way far on the downside. I mean, this has not happened in the past. So that's why what I also look at it is a FII net index long percentage over here. Also, if you see, it is sustaining towards the lower end only. So these are all things we need to see, basically, when the unwinding starts happening. So say for example, if the 61.8% is broken on the downside, okay, and it starts sustaining above that, then we might start looking for these data points to change, whether the short covering is happening or no. But until then, just like the way RSI is, that overbought can remain overbought for a while, oversold can remain oversold for a while. I mean, the that is the outcome that is very much possible. Okay. So as I had mentioned earlier as well, indicators give you an indication that a turnaround can happen, but price action is something where we need a confirmation of a turnaround, right? So when we have indicators already warning us of a turnaround at some point, and then we end up seeing a turnaround in the price action as well, that is the point to call for a reversal. But until then, what we can say is that the momentum is right now with the bears, and that's where we need to look at how things are going to shape out in the near term. Now, there are few indices where the setup looks very compelling, and I'm not sure, how all these things are going to play out, because for every one index which is good, there is one index that is bad as well, right? So, say for example, Bank Nifty index. If you see the weekly chart, the lower band and the 40 both have come towards the same point. Okay, it has also come towards its previous low, which is an important support. And ideally, over here also, I would expect that some sort of pullback to happen. Now remember one thing, what is happening right now is that we are seeing a lot of rotation. So while Bank Nifty has drifted lower so much, Nifty in that comparison, it has not really given up so much, right? So that's where some divergence can happen within the indices. But if you look at the Bank Nifty index, it does look a little interesting, right? Because even on the hourly chart, if you see, there were divergence, and now it is trying to make a comeback. uh, 40-hour exponential average, that will be the key on the hourly chart. Once that breaks on the upside and it sustains above that, uh, you know it this index can get a little interesting to monitor. As of now, what is happening is that this index is in a downtrend. Okay, it is trading in the falling channel. So if the 40-hour breaks on the upside, then you might end up expecting a pullback probably towards the upper end of the channel. But I think that's about it, that we should be expecting at this point of time. Only if this channel gets broken on the upside, that's when we start anticipating a reversal. So the probably the thing to watch out for in the near term will be a pullback, and then see how it comes. Even another sector that I have been talking for a while, which had a lot of short positions in it, is basically IT. Okay, so you can see over here, IT on the daily chart. Over here the RMI is in bullish zone. Okay, 40-day, it had resisted earlier, it saw correction, and now it is trying to make a comeback. So even if you see the retracement over here, it would be a 50 or a 61.8% retracement, that it has seen, and it is now trying to make a comeback. So even this can be interesting. And the reason this can be interesting is also because when I see the stocks within this, okay, there are many stocks that have started to see short covering in some way. Like for example, Infi, you can see over here there was massive short position that was built, and now in the recent up move, we have started to see some sort of short covering, right? If you see tech chem, I mean, over there the covering is happening for quite some time now. Okay, it had happened prior only. Wipro is also seeing a short covering playing out in that. Okay, you can see over here. TCS, again a similar story. Some shorts are being covered, but in all this case, basically, there are still a lot of shorts that are there in the system right now. So the way to think about IT would be that in the near term, if the 40-day exponential breaks on the upside, which is 35,969, then there is the scope of an up move towards these levels, which are the weekly averages. Okay, and then if say this trend line breaks on the upside, which is slightly above the 40-week average, then that's where you might end up with some sort of trend reversal. And then the expectation would be that if not anything, then at least it will rise higher towards the upper end of the channel, and then we'll take it from there. Okay, how it plays out. But again, IT is another sector that looks interesting. Now the things that does not look interesting, or those are weak, is basically reality. Okay, CNX. Sorry, I need to check over here. Mm, wait, I'm not. Reality, if we check. Okay, so over here, what is happening is that the 40-week acted as a resistance. It saw a pullback and now it is falling. And in fact, the RMI has also given some, it has given a bearish crossover. So what might happen is there might be some pullback, but it is still vulnerable for a correction. Similarly, if we see the PSC index as well, okay, even that has been falling down, and that has seen a meaningful correction. Auto, on the other hand, looks a little interesting. That is because it had given a breakout with a huge gap. Okay, and there has been some pullback, but watch out for the pullback around this zone. Maybe this can get a little interesting to actually see on the upside, because the momentum, basically, if I see technically, this has given a very strong breakout. Moreover, it has broken above the 61.8% retracement of this entire decline. So in that sense, this sector is actually looking up. Now the other sector where, now say for example, metal. Okay, if you see over here on the weekly chart, this might only look like a consolidation, and this is one sector that has not broken down yet, and it has not broken out on the upside also. So watch out for some indication in Nifty metal, because that this is one sector that seems to be holding out, pretty well at this point of time. So basically these are the things to watch out for. Sentiment, watch out for when the swing goes to 60, 80 or 90 kind of levels, and when the 90 levels get hit, okay, watch out for whether it has crossed the 61.8% retracement or no. If it has not, then there is a chance that this might just be a pullback. and probably it can go down further. The point at which a bigger reversal can be expected would initially be a break of this medium term trend line, right? Once this gets broken on the upside, then we end up making this higher top, higher bottom structure. I mean, that is the point to start thinking of a reversal, and that will be the point when all these major short positions which are there also by FIs, these will start unfolding on the upside. Okay, I mean basically a short covering might come, and that can lead to a rally on the upside. At this point of time, we are sort of in the middle. So see what has happened even in this pullback, it had touched near the 80 mark, and from there we have corrected. Now, basically whether this top is done over here and are we going to slide over here eventually is something that we need to see on an ongoing basis. But as I was saying, that given that this gap zone was broken on the downside, now the room has opened for a downside probably till here or till here or till this zone, and from there we take it as it comes. I mean that is the risk so far that we are seeing right now, and whether it comes or not, that needs to be seen. But this is an open possibility at this point of time, which we have to be very much open to. So with that, as I mentioned, there are few sectors like bank nifty which is at the important support level, nifty IT which seems to be looking up, uh, metals has gone sideways, but at the same time, PSC index, reality, those are all sectors that are not looking that great. So that is what we have for now. I mean, if at all you have any questions, you please let me know. Says how to get bulletin board insider trade on Excel, only PNG format. No, 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 Divesh. So basically, you can also get it. You have to just do the right click. Okay. Basically, you might be clicking over here. That's why only image is coming. But go to right, go to Excel, or I mean, go to export and Excel or CSV, whatever it is. You open the file and you will get the insider trades over here. Okay. So you should be able to download it. Next is, yeah, okay. Thanks for asking this question. Actually, what has happened is that the expiries have changed. So if you go to options, strike or insights, maybe this is the default screen that you will be getting. Uh, I mean, I have already mentioned this to developers. They are working on it, and we'll change the default date. So if you do it to 39, which is the expiry, then you will get all the proper data. Okay. So basically, I've informed the developers to make this 39, and you will get this screen which is functional. Okay. So this is mainly due to the expiry chain that has happened. We are working on it, and probably by the day end, this should get resolved. Um, Good morning. Chrome app is not working out, and when will the so Kalpesh, I'm not sure. Wait, let me try on Chrome. I I usually use Edge. Chrome. Okay, dot right. So I'm logging in through my wife's account. Actually, it is opening in Chrome. You can try refreshing Chrome and open. I think it should open. If you are still not able to open it, okay, please put in a ticket over there. In So just go to help over here. Raise a ticket and mention that you are not able to log in. uh, Basically, you can just put over your dashboard and others, and you're not able to log in. So someone from our team will uh, call you up and try to resolve your issue. Okay. Yes, I think this issue is addressed. Please show how to use the heat map custom date feature. Okay. So DV, if you go to heat maps, go to NSC indices, there is this custom date. Okay. So what you have to do is that, now say for example Nifty index has been in this corrective phase. Okay. So say from 21st, please remember that this will take the close of whatever day you are selecting. Okay. And not the open. So say 21st is when we made a top. So 21 till date. Okay. In fact, sorry, I have to 21st to 1. If I do this, then it is going to show the result. So in this decline, basically Nifty 50 has corrected by 2%, but say Nifty IT, Nifty consumer durables, these are the ones that have given positive returns. MNC, FMCG, auto, these are all flat, but they have basically outperformed. So this is how you can use the custom date. Okay, just click on the custom date. Sorry, my PC. Okay, I will check this. The results have come, but I think the page has crashed. Let me just check it once again. So basically, we have gone live with almost all the features now. So that is why I'm not sure if the custom page is breaking. But if it is, then we'll surely address it. Just need to check it. Oh, I've typed something over here. Custom date, if I select. Okay, I think it is functioning properly. No, after I think few seconds, this issue is happening. So we'll get the speed better. Okay, I think it is functioning properly. So just have a look. I hope you understand, DV, how to use the custom date. Please check. Uh, I mean, if you still have any issues, please let me know. Just provide BSC 30 list which all stocks are present on Nifty. Purpose is to narrow the watch list from. Uh, yeah, DV, we'll probably see at a later stage. Okay, at this point of time, because we have gone with the 1 minute live, so RRG and all, we have improved it. We have increased the watch list from 50 to 100. So in there are some so there are some bugs that are there that we want to fix it in next few days, and in the coming week. And after that, we should be able to we should be able to start implementing new things. There is a question from Deepak since last one: how to check the heat map. How to check top stocks outperform in the heat map. So Deepak, what you can do over here is that, see, if you see the Nifty index, basically it has topped out I think on 27 September, right? So you have to go to the heat map. 24th September, sorry, 27 September. Once you select over here, so I'm doing this till date now. Okay. Once you apply it, now you have all the result from 27th of September. Okay. So now in that case, you can see that Nifty Financial Service is the one that has outperformed. banks are there, PSU banks are there, private banks are there. So these are all the indices that have outperformed. Now, in this case, Nifty 50 has fallen by 6%, but these are all the ones that are outperformed. Now, within some indices, if you want to see, so say for example, Nifty 500. So then JSW Holding, Lotus Labs, these are all the ones that have outperformed. Okay. So this is how basically you get it. Okay, just go to custom heat map, go to the dates at the top, select whatever you want. You can see over here that I have from custom date I have selected 27 September to 1st September. Okay, even if you do last 1 year, it will take basically from 27th or 28th September, something like that. Okay, so you can see from first to first it has taken. All right. So these are all rolling time frames. Okay. So you can also check it through year or through custom date, whatever you like. Yeah. So Anirbata, yes, you're right. Actually, RRG is opening, but basically, it is lagging a lot. I mean, you're sometimes seeing loading. If I change the time frame, the screen goes blank. So, this is actually an issue that has already been reported, and the developers are working on it. This should get resolved probably by today. Okay, we are able to see the screen once again, but it is taking a lot of time to load, and that's where we need to fix this. Okay, and this will be fixed soon. DV says, yeah, yeah, actually in Chrome I have not seen an issue, frankly. I am not sure why the other guy is facing that issue. Quarterly charts are not showing. Okay, let me check. For example, in feed. Yes, it seems like quarterly chart has an issue. Monthly, 6 months. Okay, let me just note it down. Okay, we'll get this fixed. Thanks for pointing out. I think daily, weekly, 4 hours, 3 hours. Okay, I think these are all charts that are working. Right. So I think quarterly chart we'll get it fixed. I think quarterly and above quarterly there is some issue that will get fixed. Thanks for pointing out how to transfer. No, there is no limit as such, Deepak. You can transfer how much ever you want. The only thing is that in RRG, it might take now only up to 100 stocks in that watch list. If the stocks are above 100, it will get disabled. DV indication of big move on the downside. The market seems to be sell on rise. Simply put. Okay, thanks for this. Okay, so I think I have tried to address all the questions. Once again, we have moved a lot of, I mean, almost everything to 1 minute delayed now. RRG will still be 5 minute delayed, but the dates and all, we have improved that. We have taken the recent dates. So, say for example, earlier we used to take first day of the week. I mean, those all issues are sorted now. I mean, the prices, the date at the top, basically the date over here will come off 2nd September, even if you do the weekly or the monthly chart. So all those things are there. Even Nifty 100 we have included in the list over here. So all these things you will be able to see now. Just give us a day's time for the RRG, because it seems to be loading slow. So that we will fix it. And in the next few days, as I mentioned, there are some existing bugs that we already know that we want to fix it. And after that, we can start start thinking of putting new features for Stripe. Okay. So thanks a lot for joining today. Just to summarize, uh, just look out for a bounce in the near term. Okay, just look out for a bounce in the near term towards the hourly averages, and then let's see how things behave. And also at the same time, watch out for the sentiment indicators, especially the daily swing. If it reaches 80, 90, then there is a possibility that a short-term pullback might be complete, and we need to be careful. Okay, something like this also happened over here. In this pullback, basically 61.8% retracement got hit, and the prices also came to almost 90, and after that we have seen a correction. So this had worked very well. Now I was mentioning this earlier as well, right? See, what happens is that if we are going to correct further, okay, and if we might see a lot more bigger correction, then what will happen is that 80 and 90 will act as a resistance level, okay, while we are in a downtrend. But at the same time, when we go in an uptrend, okay, so what happens is that 1020 becomes a important support level, and we bounce back from there. In bear markets, these oversold reading might only help to see, might only give us a 2 3 day kind of pullback, but then again it will keep falling and it will end up making, say, positive divergence. Okay, like you see over here, there was a positive divergence. Then in this pullback, basically the swing went from year to year, and then again in this decline it fell, right? And then when there was a bigger pullback that we saw, it had come towards this zone. So what will happen is that if the bear market correction has to happen, then 80 90 around we will start finding resistance. Okay, and around 1020 is where we might end up seeing some minor bounce, but it will keep declining till it forms some positive divergence or so. So watch out for this space, how it plays out. Watch out what when does swing goes to 80 90, and so on. Okay, so of course we will be discussing this very closely now, because we are at an interesting time. So let's see how things play out. Okay, so until then, see you tomorrow, and I'll try to find some more observations, if at all there are any. Okay, so see you all tomorrow, around the same time at 11 o'clock. Thank you.